life. And the Lord shined down on us what it is that He created man, that He formed him in His own image. And while He's there, lying there, He breathed into the nostrils the breath of life. The Bible declares to us in Genesis chapter 3, it says, and man became a living soul. All the while we're living this life that we have to understand we went through certain stages. We went through infancy, we went through toddler stage, we went through adolescent stage, we went through puberty stage, we matured a little bit more. Some of us are young adults, and some of us are middle aged, and some of us are seasoned saints. And while we're living the life that God has given us, we have to declare that every day was not easy. And no matter what age you are, every day was not easy, but every day was worth it. Look at somebody and say, oh, it was worth it. You got to understand why you're going through different stages of life. You wouldn't understand the things that you understand now if it wasn't for what you have already gone through. You got to understand that if He was never sick at all, if He was never down and out, if you had never been cast out, if you were never rejected, if you were never talked about, you would not understand the strength that you have in your life. And so when it is that we read the Bible and we look at the things that Jesus said, and we like to quote, Jesus said, I've come that you might have life. John 10:10, He said that you might have it more abundantly. And when it is that we look at the text, we look at it, we say, this is the blessings of God, and we're going to have the abundant blessings from God, and we're going to have everything that we need. But also, can you look at it really in context of what it is? And He said, the thief cometh and to destroy. That lets me know that I'm going to have a very good chance of rain in my life. I'm going to have a very good chance of some troubles in my life. I'm going to have fight sometime. I'm going to struggle a little bit. I'm going to have some trials, but at the end of it all, I'm going to get something out of it more than what I'm going to do. And you got to understand, as you look at yourself in the mirror, you got to start telling yourself, look at you. You don't look like what you've been through. You don't look like you went through a divorce. You don't look like you went through cancer. You don't look like you've been talked about. You don't look like you've been lied on. You don't look like you've been accused. You don't look like you just left a funeral. You don't look like that you just buried someone. But God looks beyond all of our faults. He sees us. He knows what we stand in the need of. And at the end of it all, God gets the glory that we can have the abundant life. The Bible teaches us in John chapter 5 verse 4 says, I wish above all things that your soul prosper and you be in good health. Whatever it is that you're going through, it's going to make it for your good. Can I tell you that the things of God, the things that you're going through, it is not an indication that you are powerless. The things that you're going through is because you have the power to handle it. You look at somebody and say, you have the power to handle it. And I like the way God does us sometimes, and I believe that, I heard Bishop Jake say, I believe that God compliments us because some of us go through so much in our life, and we're waiting on God to do something mighty in our life, and we think that we're doing something wrong. Can I tell you that God's just complimenting you? He's using you as a vessel. He's using you as a testimony to let you know, listen, if I can bring my baby through all of this, if I can bring my son through all this, then surely I gotta be a God that sits high and look down low. And you got to look at somebody and say, you don't know what I've been through. You just see me smiling, but you don't know the nights that I stayed up all night long. You don't know how my life has been changed. You don't know the nights that I went to the hospital and I didn't tell nobody. Then I went and look at your neighbor and say, oh, I can handle it. Everything that I've been through, everything that I'm going through, I can handle it. I know you're talking about me. I know you're criticizing me. I know you're looking at me like I got all the money, but you don't know. I ain't got no food at home. You don't know that I'm burning candles and not simply because the Lord knows that I can handle it. See, I'm not talking about y'all sucker people that don't pay no tithe, that don't give no money, that don't bless somebody else. But I'm talking about some of us here that don't mind giving to somebody else and helping somebody else. And all while we ain't got everything that we need. Now you better be mature in how you thinking about it. Just because I don't have nothing don't mean I ain't nothing at all. Look at your neighbor and say, you better know who you sit next to. You don't know who you just lended $3 to. You don't know who you just gave $1 to. Look at your neighbor and high five and say, neighbor, I'm a blessed individual. So all it is that I'm a blessed individual, I gotta keep on living. Look at your neighbor and say, I gotta keep living. I gotta keep living. And so God storms your life to let you know that you can handle whatever it is that you're going through. And I know you said it, I said it too. Why me, Lord? And I look at you in your face and tell you, why not you? You gotta know that you are here to do something, that the Lord has a purpose on your life. You're not going to be here on this earth and think that everything's going to be flowery, everything going to be some self-rising flower, and everything going to be splendid, everything going to be sweet and right. No, it's not going to be like that. Sometimes you're going to have some lemons in your mouth. Sometimes you got to drink some prune juice. Sometimes you got to take some turpentine because the Lord knows what you can handle. Tell somebody and say, I know what I can handle. Because if I cast my care on him, Lord have mercy, he cares just for me. And somebody say, I got to keep living. Here we are. I like Corinthians. Paul talking to the Corinthian church, and he deals with resurrection in this chapter. He deals with how it is that the Lord knows when we're down and out. He knows exactly when to pull us up. But the only thing is, you got to understand while you're waiting on the Lord to pull you up, you got to understand you're waiting on God and you get all the strength that you need to handle what you can handle. Listen, when you think you don't have nothing, you got everything you need. When you think you don't got nothing at all, you got everything that you need. Tell somebody, say, oh, I got everything that I need. So he says, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. You see it? They shall mount up with wings as eagles, run, not be weary, walk and do what? So while you're waiting on the Lord, you're gaining strength. How is it that you have more strength while you're going through than you had when you ain't got nothing? Yeah, you smiling, you speaking to everybody. Now, y'all ain't doing this. This is what you need to do while you're going through. Speak to everybody. You're smiling. You don't mind to say, hey, God bless you. Good to see you. God bless you. Good to see you. Keep on going. Because God will never put you in a position that He can't pull you out of. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And so he starts dealing with resurrection. We start dealing with how things are supposed to happen in our life. I like verse 1. As a matter of fact, it says, moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preach unto you, which ye have also received, and wherein ye stand, by which also ye are saved, if ye keep in memory what I preached unto you, unless you have believed in vain. And so Paul was saying, all the stuff I've been preaching to you, I don't want you to just preach this stuff, I want you to believe it in vain. In other words, I want you to have lip service. I need you to make a change. Y'all see it? I like to tell my children sometimes, don't just cry about it, just make a change and everything will be all right. And so while we're doing everything that we're doing, Paul said, I'm preaching to you. I'm telling you what can help you in your life. As a matter of fact, I'm telling you what helped me. Yeah, because you can't teach nobody anything that you don't know. I know, you look at that age and think age is there. No, you don't know. You don't know everything that I've been through. You're just going to look at that I told you. Look at somebody and say, you don't know everything I've been through. You just know only what I told you. You don't know the stuff that happened behind closed. All right. So he said, I'm delivering this stuff. He said, for I delivered unto you, first of all, that which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the scripture, that he was buried and rose again on the third day according to the scriptures. Do you see that? I like verse 10. It said, but by the grace of God, I am what I am. Y'all see it? And his grace was bestowed upon me, was not in vain, but I labor more abundantly than they all, yet not I, but the grace of God which was with me. Therefore, whether it were I or they, so we preach. And so ye believe. And so I'm not up here to just be talking to you. I'm up here to help you make a change. I'm up here to make sure God is in your life, to make sure things happen the way the Lord wants them to happen in your life. And so he says in verse 12, now if Christ be preached, that he rose from the dead, I'll say some among you that there is no resurrection of the dead. So he starts dealing with the dead, how we're going to be changed, how we're going to have a spiritual change. Y'all see that? I'm not going to go too much deeper. How's a spiritual change that must take place in your ground. So first thing I got to tell you, let me skip on down. First, he says in verse 58, he says, therefore, my beloved brother, be ye steadfast. Y'all see that? It says unmovable. Y'all see that? Always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain. But the thing I love about the first 8 clauses says, therefore, my beloved brother, be ye steadfast, unmovable. The first thing I want to encourage you while you keep living, you got to learn to stand your ground. Yeah. Tell somebody, say, stand your ground. Stand your ground. Now you got to figure out what you're standing on. Right? You got to figure out what you're standing on. Some of us are on a shaky foundation, and every little thing will blow us down. All right? And so we gotta do. We can't be Humpty Dumpty right now. We can't be high, and you easily crack up. Okay? You can't be big when a little got you. Right? So you gotta have a good mind to stand your ground. And what happens is the reason you can stand your ground. One of the things that happens is you can stand your ground because you have the victory to be changed. You got the victory. Look at somebody and say, you got the victory. You got the victory to be changed. So he says to us, matter of fact, in around verse 50, it says, now, this I say, brother, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither does corruption. Y'all see it? Inherit what? Incorruption. So he says, there got to be a change. Now, this is what Paul is dealing with. He's dealing with the spiritual life that we have. We want God to be pleased with our body, because the bodies that we have now, we can't take that to heaven. We got to be changed. Y'all with me so far? You got to be changed. And so what happens is he said, listen, that human side that you have, that you so like to glorify all the time, you can't take that with you. You can't take that with you. As a matter of fact, the corrupt things that you think that's incorruption, you can't take that. You can't take that. But you know, sometimes living this life, that we think we're going the right way. Yeah, we think we're going the right way, but all the while, when we get a glimpse of the truth, we say, you know what? I have been going the wrong way for a long time. As a matter of fact, there's a story. There's a story I want to tell you about your bishop. We was talking on the phone, and Bishop was driving, and Chairman, I really don't get it. What happened? I'm not gonna pick him on this. It just got weird. He was in Georgia, and he went on here. He was driving, and he called me, and I say, what's up, Pop? He said, man, things good. I said, man, guess what happened to me? He said, man, I've been driving for 2 hours, and I'm in South Carolina. I said, you should have been. I said, you should have been in Florida. You should have been in Jacksonville. I said, which way did you go? He said, I don't know. I just got on and started driving. And I said, he said, all the while, sir, I'm driving. I think I'm going the right way. I'm telling my wife to hush, leave me alone. I got it. All the while, y'all, he's not looking at me. And all the while, he's going the wrong way. And he said something. He said, I learned the lesson though. He said, I can be going the same way that I think I'm going the right way the whole time. And all the while, I'm headed in the wrong direction. And so I want to encourage you, listen, just because you think you're going the right way, check it again. So the Bible teaches us in verse 57, let me say, but let a man examine himself. Lord have mercy. You got to examine yourself and make sure that you're headed right. That's why I don't have time to point my finger at you and tell you what you're doing wrong. I got to say this, I can't point at you and say, you got a mean attitude all the while I'm talking about you. So he said, you think you got to learn to stand your ground. You got victory. You got to have a change. Tell somebody, I got to have a change. Not only do I have to have a change, but I got to learn to be consistent. So he says, therefore, my beloved brothers and sisters, he said, be steadfast. That's crazy. I say, wait. While I'm living, I got to be consistent in my living. He said, yeah. Say, yeah, you gotta be consistent. You know you're not gonna get it all right, but that don't give you a license to continue to go be inconsistent. He says, try your best to be consistent. And y'all know we come up with the funny excuses of why we can't be consistent. Y'all with me? And so what happens is he says, I'm encouraging you that while you're living this life, keep your head up. While you're living this life, you better know that you can do all things through Christ. Y'all know Paul. He encouraged. He said, listen, understand. While you were yet sinner, Christ died for you. So I'm going to glory in my patience. I'm going to make sure, because what happens to the tribulations that you're going through, it's going to push you to be better. Look at somebody and say, I ain't got it all together yet. Yeah, but I got to keep on pressing. So that's why he says, brother, I count not myself to have apprehended or arrested or attained every single thing. He said, but this one thing I do, I'm going to forget all that other stuff. And I'm going to reach forward. Tell somebody and say, I got to pull it down. I got to reach forward to those things which are before me, and I got to press toward the mark of the prize of the high calling of God, which is in Christ. You got to be consistent in the thing. You got to look at the individual text. It says, I press toward the mark. That let me know there's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a pain for me to be consistent. Do you know sometimes it's hard to do right? Listen, it's hard to do right when you know you can get away with it by doing wrong. You know how to get under somebody else's skin without everybody else looking at you. You know how to walk up to it and whisper to them. Say something else to them. You know what? You know how to get away with it. You know how to pull somebody to the side and say, well, you know, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I think you need to do it the way. You know how to get away with it. You know how to go in the convenience store and rob it without being caught. Yeah, you know how to do it. You know how to smuggle drugs. I'm not talking about something you don't know how to do. You know how to do. Why you think the Bible says, be not weary in well doing? For in due season you're going to reap. You be like, dog, I ain't cheating on my taxes, none. My girlfriend, my boy, they been cheating on all that other stuff, and they got all these blessings, and I keep getting nothing for income tax. I mean, people ain't got kids, evangelists, and they claim the kids. All of a sudden, you don't talk to me all year, but now income tax time, now we friends. Now you gonna be my baby God daddy and God mama now. Alright, gotta be consistent. I know some of y'all not gonna move or smile at all. I know, I want you to have a spirit of laughter and a spirit of learning at the same time. Not only you have the victory to be changed, not only do you have the victory to be consistent, but you got the victory to be courageous. It says to us, be steadfast, unmovable. Y'all see it? He says, I want to make sure you're standing your ground. You got to stand your ground in such a way that it takes courage to do it. As a matter of fact, while unmovable, as you stretch the definition, it means don't hold back. The enemy, so press God, the enemy uses whatever and anything he wants to use to knock you down. How about you do the same thing? Do whatever it takes to stay up. Whatever you got to do. If I got to pray 5 times a day, I'm going to pray 5 times a day. Because I know that's going to help me out. That's going to make me feel better. If I got to turn my music up and listen to what I got to listen to every single day, same time, because I know I got to go into this job, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get the job 15 minutes early. We're going to turn me and Shirley. We're going to have a wonderful, wonderful good time. Whatever you got to do to stay up, you got to do it. If you got to ignore the things around you, you got to do what you got to do to be courageous. He said, listen, I'm not telling you something that you don't have. Be steadfast. Stand your ground. Be unmovable. You got the victory. Look at somebody high five and say, you got the victory. You can be changed. You can be consistent. You can be courageous. Not only that, but he says in verse 58 again, he says, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Y'all with me? I'm just got one verse. Y'all with me? He says, always abounding in what? The work of the Lord. Not only do you have to stand your ground, but you got to learn how to strive for God. You got to learn how to strive for God. Listen here. What happens is when you're striving for God, you start gaining things. And it's not about just gaining the blessings of God. It's not about just that. But you start gaining some wonderful things because you know that the Lord is strengthening you. And what happens is, one of the things He does is when you strive for God, you gain the strength to live. You gain the strength that you need to live. You got the work that you need in order to live. And what happens is when you're getting your strength, when you're abounding, when you're sticking in there, when you're striving for God, what happens is you get equipped with the things that you need in order to live the life that you have been blessed with. And so what happens is that you can't get the strength of somebody else. You have to get the strength that God gave you. Look at somebody and say, I gotta get my strength. And I know you've been encouraging me and you've been telling me, everything gonna be all right. And you keep telling me that, hey, it's life, it happens, whatever. You gotta go through what you gotta go through. I understand you've been telling me that and all that, but listen, you're not me. So if you're going to encourage me and be always encouraging me, that helps me. I know when you encourage me, there got to be some growth from it. Look at your neighbor and say, but don't get frustrated with me. And don't get frustrated with me. You got to keep telling somebody. You got to learn all 3 days. You got to learn to do it. You got to say, hey, keep living. You got to keep standing. You got to keep going. You got to keep. I know it's going to get tough. I like those hard teachers that tell you that, listen, I know you're going through whatever you got to go through. I know you got some stuff that's going on at home, but that don't give you an excuse not to keep living. Yeah, tell somebody to say that's not an excuse. Not only that, but you got to learn that when you're abounding in the work of the Lord, and you get the striving for God, you get the gaining strength for the will of your life. You get to gain the will to live. Look at somebody and say, I got the will to live. What happens is while you're always, that's consistency. Y'all with me? That's persistence. I'm getting in there. I'm going to try my best to keep going. Touch your neighbor and say, try your best. Try your best. You can't do nothing but try. Can't do nothing but try. Try your best. Keep doing what you got to do. And what happens is you get the desire to keep going. You get the heart to keep going. You get the determination to keep going. You get the actions that you need in order to keep living the life that God has given you. No, your life may not be like you dreamed it to be. Yeah, it's not the way you thought it was going to be. I know you thought you was going to be a doctor. I know, or you either married a doctor, one or the other. Whatever it is that you thought that your life was going to be, what happened was God said, I like your plan. That is a good plan, but we're not going to go with that plan. This is the plan that I have for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in the middle of the ghetto. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 kids. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow this man to walk off and leave you. And then it's going to be you and the 2 kids. As a matter of fact, what's going to happen is you're not going to have no job. You're going to have to live on subsidized housing for about 10 years. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you food stamps. I'm going to give you just enough what you need in order for you to live month to month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a job after 7 years. But I'm going to let you look like you're going up, but I'm going to stop you. And I'm going to make sure that you have nothing. And what I'm going to make sure, I'm going to put prayer in your heart and in your eyes, and you're going to keep praying to me, and you're going to keep talking to me. And what's going to happen is on year number 12, I'm going to let you meet a man. And that man going to love you with all his heart. I'm going to let you meet somebody that says, you know what, baby, I got something in my refrigerator that you can have. I'm going to let you in year number 12, around the 6th month. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let you meet some girls that's not going to be jealous of you. They're going to say, we're going to go shopping. Let's spend New York and pump it up. Let's go to the avenue. Let's go to the DSW and let's go shopping. You don't have to not pay for anything. What I'm going to allow you to do is I'm going to allow you to go to a church where you think that you're the least of all. And you found out when you made it to the church that everybody messed up just like you was messed up. And when you get to the sanctuary, I'm going to allow you to lift up holy hand. And you're going to be glad when they say to you, let's go to the house of the Lord. And by the time year number 13 God said, I'm going to turn your life upside down. I'm going to give you a new house. I'm going to give you a new car. You're not going to cry no more. You're not going to be by yourself no more. You're going to have best friends. You're going to have PLS forever. They're going to give you Christmas cards. They're going to send you Thanksgiving turkeys. Whatever it is that you need, I'm going to bless you. Tell somebody, say, I got the determination to keep on going. And what happens is, while I'm working for the Lord, I even gave the word to live. I understand that it's valuable things are working for the Lord. I understand that I'm not working for God by myself. That I and he's with me every step of the way. So therefore I can be like David and say, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. In other words, what David was saying is, I have all that I need and all that I want. Look at somebody say, I got everything that I need because I got the worth to live. What happened is, I learned that there's an importance and an excellence of character to live because I got to understand while I'm walking in the Lord and for the Lord, there is a purpose bigger than me. Look at somebody say, oh, there's a purpose bigger than me. It's not about how many people I can network with. It's not how many times my name can be called. It's not how many certificates I can get. It's not how many trophies I can get. It's not about how many people going to be in the sanctuary. It's not about how many cars that I can get. It's not about how much money I can put in my pocket. It has nothing to do with none of that. But all I know is I gained the worth to live. Somebody say, oh, I'm valuable. You may not think so, but I'm very valuable. I know that the blessings of the Lord make me rich. I know the Lord will give me the power to get the wealth. Look at somebody say, it's worth it, it's worth it, it's worth it. And so what happens is, the last thing says, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain. I told you, you got to make sure you stand your ground. Look at somebody and say, stand your ground. You got to learn how to strive for God. And the last thing I got to tell somebody here is you got to learn how to serve in greatness. He says unto you, he says, therefore, my beloved brother, be ye steadfast. Watch it. Unmovable. Y'all still with me? Always abiding in the work of the Lord. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain. The reason that you can, the things and the principles you can use, that while you're serving in greatness, you got to understand this, that there's a reason you're serving, there's a reward while you're serving, and there's a record of you serving. For second you see there's a reason. You understand that you're living because God resurrected you from whatever you used to be, and He made you greater than what you used to be. That's why He says unto us, He says, greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world. So there's somebody on your right side and say, neighbor, I'm greater than I used to be. I know you thought that I was going to be down and out, but look at me now. I got exactly what everything that God wanted to have in my life. I'm where God wants me to be. And if I'm going to be getting great, I know that the Lord got some things in store for me. Somebody say, oh, I got a reason why I'm serving. I'm not serving when you would call my name. I'm serving because God can do anything. He can use anybody that He wants to use. You got to understand that there's a reason because God resurrected you. He lifted you up. He put you to where He wants you to be. That's why He says, therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. All things are passed away, and all things have become new. That's the reason you're serving. Not only that, but there's a reward while you're serving. He says that your labor is not in vain. You're going to have to have somebody on your right side and say, neighbor, oh, it's not in vain. You got to understand that God is not unrighteous to forget your work and your labor on the Lord. As a matter of fact, there's no good thing when He withholds from those that diligently seek Him. When they tell somebody behind you and say, well, you got a reward coming your way. God knows what we do. And I'm there, a matter of fact, He knows exactly what we sow. And so He tells us that we reap just what we sow. But when they tell somebody God has something for me, and the reason I know God has something for me, and my reward is much bigger than where I am now. Because 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9 says, I have not seen, and ye have not heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man what God has in store for me. And so let me leave y'all alone and tell you very well that some of y'all coffee in Sunday school. And so He says to us here, as much as ye know that your labor is not in the vain in the Lord. We're going to touch somebody and say, all of this is happening because the Lord. The work that I'm doing has nothing to do with anybody else. You see, Lord, that's the last thing. I got to tell somebody to pray. That grace and reverence is here. Lord, God knows everything that I do because it's here. It's here, the Lord. And when I work for the Lord, it's here, the Lord. When I serve, it's not about serving anybody else. When I'm serving, oh Lord, when I worship, praise the Lord. It's here.